Hello students, welcome once again to this new session of English class. In the previous class we dealt with tenses, their different types, definitions, formations and some examples. Continuing that, today we will deal with some conditional sentences which will be followed by exercises on tenses. Conditional sentences. What are conditional sentences? Conditional sentences are sentences which express factual implications or hypothetical situations and their consequences. Please write down. Conditional sentences are sentences which express factual implications or hypothetical situations and their consequences. There are three types of conditional sentences. First condition, second condition and third condition. You can also say type 1 condition, type 2 conditional sentence and type 3 conditional sentences. Type 1 refers to open condition. Their uses are universal truth, obvious things, facts and causes and consequences. These are the four uses of type 1 condition, that is open condition. Type 1 condition is called open condition. I repeat, its uses are universal truth, obvious things, facts and cause and consequences. Then the structure, the formation, if oblique when plus present simple plus again present simple. Write the formation, and when you do some examples you can automatically understand the structure. Structure again, if oblique when plus present simple plus present simple tense, present simple tense. Example, we'll add a few sentences in the form of examples. Number 1, if you freeze water it turns into ice. If you freeze water it turns into ice. Example number 2, if you heat metal it expands. If you heat metal it expands. Example number 3, if you have problems you talk to the doctor. If you have problems you talk to the doctor. If you sweat too much you dehydrate. If you sweat too much you dehydrate. You will find here that the if or when clause is in the present. If you freeze ice, freeze is in the simple present tense, simple present form. It turns into ice, turns, again the second latter part, it is also in the simple present form. In the second sentence also, if you heat metal, the first part is in the present simple form and it expands also in the present simple form. You will find both the parts in the present simple forms. That is why it is said if or when present simple plus present simple in structure. Now moving on to type 2 condition, which is called imaginary condition. Its uses are hypothesis, means imagination, unlikely situations, unreal situations and giving advice. Hypothesis, unlikely situations, unreal situations and giving advice. Its structure is if plus past simple plus conditional, it will be would here, conditional within bracket would plus verb infinitive. I repeat, if plus past simple plus conditional within bracket would plus verb infinitive. Now example, you see, if I had money I would buy a car. If I had money, I would buy a car. Number 2, if he knew the answer, he would tell you. If he knew the answer, he would tell you. Another example, if I were you, I would not do that. If I were you, I would not do that. These are the examples of type 2 condition, that is imaginary condition. Now type 3 condition, unfulfilled condition of the past. Type 3 condition is unfulfilled condition of the past. Moving on to the uses of this condition, that is unfulfilled condition of the past, that is type 3 condition. It expresses regret about a situation in the past, hypothesis about the past, second use, theoretical past situation, and an impossible situation because it had already happened. These are the 4 uses. I repeat, to express regret about a situation in the past, hypothesis about the past, theoretical past situation, and an impossible situation because it had already happened. Moving on to the structure, if plus past perfect plus conditional perfect, here it will be would have, within bracket would have, plus verb in the past participle. I repeat, if plus past perfect plus conditional perfect, that is would have, and verb in the past participle. Over. Examples, if I had worked harder, I would have passed the test. If I had worked harder, I would have passed the test. Second example, if he had been wise, he would have been selected. If he had been wise, he would have been selected. Next, if she had driven carefully, she would not have had an accident. If she had driven carefully, she would not have had an accident. So these are the examples of type 3 condition. Now, to know conditional sentences better, in a very simple way, let us exemplify through sentences. Number 1, same sentence we'll write in 3 forms. Number 1, write down all of you. I shall go if he invites me. I shall go if he invites me. This is the first sentence, and it is in the open condition. Okay, now that is type 1. Type 2, imaginary condition. I would go if he invited me. Imaginary. Type 3, I would have gone if he had invited me. Okay, this is unfulfilled condition of the past. So these are the examples of conditional sentences to understand them better. Simple way, I shall go if he invites me. I open condition, type 1. I would go if he invited me. Type 2, that is imaginary condition. And type 3, I would have gone if he had invited me. Unfulfilled condition of the past. After repeating these examples a few times and in different forms of examples in different sentences, then we can understand or comprehend things better. Now we will write a sentence in all the forms of tenses to comprehend tenses much better. And if you can capitalize on this way, on the learning of tenses in this way, then I think you can have a better grip on your tenses. Example number 1, I play football daily. This is in I play football daily. This is in, or I play football, simply don't write daily. I play football. This is in present indefinite tense. Now write in all other tenses. Present continuous tense. I am playing football. Okay. Present perfect. I have played football. And present perfect continuous. I have been playing football for 3 hours, for 4 hours. That will do afterwards, just for comprehension. Then past indefinite. I played football. Okay. Number 6. I was playing football, past continuous. Number 7. I had played football. Another action will be made use of in sentences, but this is simply to understand tenses, to have a better command on them. Then number 8. I had been playing football. Over. These are the past tenses. Now future. Number 9. I shall play football. Future indefinite. I shall play football. Future continuous. I shall be playing football. Then future perfect. I shall have played football. And future perfect continuous will be I shall have been playing football. Here second action in the perfect tenses will be made use of in the past and future in other examples. Okay, now so I think all of you have written down. Now just go through the examples once again. I play football. I am playing football. I have played football. I have been playing football. I played football. I was playing football. I had played football. I had been playing football. I shall play football. I shall be playing football. I shall have played football. I shall have been playing football. Now, these sentences can be written in the passive voice as well. Okay. Now, you know what sort of questions come in tenses. Use the correct forms of verbs. Okay. Now, so for example, in the first one you see, I play football. I dash football daily. Daily refers to the sentence being in the present indefinite. So I dash play football. I dash football daily, bracket play. You have to write play. Or he dash football daily, bracket play. He plays football daily. Clear that you can, as third person singular number will always take s or es as suffix. Now this same sentence can come in the passive voice as well. For example, football dash by me daily. What do you write? Football play by me daily. You can write. You can't write. So here you have to make use of passive form. Football is played. That means it is not only the simple sentences in the active voices that you have to know, but you have to understand that the sentences can be in the passive form as well. But remember, 4 tenses cannot be written in passive form. They are all perfect continuous tenses and future continuous tense. For example, I have been playing football for 2 hours. This cannot be written in the passive form. I had been playing football for 2 hours. No passive voice of this sentence. I shall have been playing football for 2 hours. No passive form. And future continuous tense, he will be playing football at this hour or at this time. No passive form. Clear now? I think by now these things are clear to all of you. So the passive forms of the sentences are also important to understand. Coming to the present continuous tense, I am playing football. It will be football is being played by me. Football dash by me at present. Football is being played. Future present perfect. Football has been played by me. Then past indefinite. Football was played by me. Past continuous. Football was being played by me. Was being played will be in the gap, the bracket. The word will be given play, and you have to write was being played. Then past perfect. Football had been played by me. Then no perfect continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense. And future indefinite. Football will be played by me. future continuous tense, no passive form, future perfect. Football will have been played by me. Clear now? Now if I ask you to practice one sentence, say he reads books. You practice in all other tenses. How will you practice? He reads books. This is in present indefinite. You have done this in the previous classes, so I think this must be clear. We're just recapitulating on whatever we learned on tenses in our previous classes. He reads books, present indefinite. Write in other forms. He is reading books, present continuous. He has read book, present perfect. He has been reading books, present perfect continuous. Then past indefinite. He read books. He was reading books. He had read books. He had been reading books. Okay. Then he will read books. He will be reading books. He will have read books. He will have been reading books. It can be in the passive form also. Books are read by him. Okay. Books are being read by him. Books had been read by him. Then no perfect continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense. Then no passive form in the present perfect continuous tense. Then in the past tense, books were read by him. Books were being read by him. Books had been read by him. No passive form in the past perfect continuous tense. Books will be read by him. No passive form in the future continuous. Books will have been read by him, future perfect, and no passive form in the future perfect continuous tense. I think by now the formation of sentences in different tenses is clear to you. Now moving on to conditional sentence, let us discuss a few examples. Number 1, they will come if I invite them. They will come if I invite them. Now how will you write down the other two conditions? Okay, invite them. This is type 1. Type 2 will be they would come if I invited them. Clear? They would come if I invited them. And type 3 will be they would have come if I had invited them. If you simply understand these 3 sentences, then you need not go into the structures and examples and whatsoever given in the definition of conditional sentences and types, and the definition of the types. So simply, if you can understand this, keep in mind these 3 types of sentences. Any one sentence like they will come if I invited them, this is an open condition. They would come if I invited them, this is imaginary condition. And they would have come if I had invited them, unfulfilled condition of the past. So this will give you a clear idea of tenses and conditional sentences. Now let us discuss a few examples, just a few examples. In the next class, in the next session, we will discuss on the examples of on the filling up of gaps by making use of correct forms of verbs. Now just a few examples. Number 1, write down I dash if father helps me. I dash if father helps me. Win. Suppose bracket is win. Write down win at the end within bracket. I dash if father helps me. Win. What will be the form of verb? Now I dash if father helps me. If father helps me. This you see in the first condition. That is conditional sentence number 1. Type 1. So I shall win. Okay. Number 2. He would come if he dash money. Bracket have. He would come if he dash money. He would come, see this is in the second condition. He would come if he, simple past simple, that is if he had money. Past form of have is had. He would come if he had money. Clear now? Number 3, the teacher dash if he had requested him. The teacher dash if he had requested him. Help. The teacher dash if he had requested him. What example you will put here? What form of verb you will put here? This is in the third condition. If he had helped him, see, perfect form. If he had requested, so it will be the teacher would have helped. Third condition. That is type 3 condition. Would have helped. I think by now the use of conditional sentence is clear. Now let us discuss some examples of the other simple plain tenses. Number 1. He dash ice cream. Like. He dash ice cream. Yes, it's a habitual action or universal truth. What? It's a habitual action. He's in the habit of eating ice cream. That means he likes ice cream. So it is in the present indefinite. He dash ice cream bracket like. What? How will you use the form? What form of like will be used here? He likes ice cream. Third person singular number, therefore likes. Number 2. I dash a storybook now. I dash a storybook now. Read. Now means it is indicating that something is going on at present. I am reading a storybook now. Number 3. He dash the film. He dashed the film see. He dashed the film. Exact time of action is not mentioned, so it is a present perfect. He has seen the film. Number 4. It dash for 2 hours now. It dash for 2 hours. Bracket rain. Yes, some of you are getting it right. It has been raining for 2 hours. That means the action of rain started 2 hours ago and still it is continuing. Then I dashed the film yesterday. See. Bracket C, S-E-E-C. Try to understand. Yes, you are absolutely correct. I saw the film yesterday. Because the action of seeing the film is already over. It was done yesterday. So it is in the simple past tense. Then they dash when we met them. They dash when we met them. Bracket play. They dash when we met them. Yes, most of you have got absolutely correct. They were playing when we met them. They were playing when we met them. Past continuous. At a particular point of time, that means when they were playing, we met them. We met them at which point? When they were playing. Something was going on in the past when certain other action took place. Next, he dash the story before the teacher arrived or came. He dashed the story before the teacher came. Right, bracket right. Guess what would the answer be? He had written the story. Yes, very good. You are understanding it quite well. He had read the story before the teacher came. Two actions took place in the past and the action of writing the story took place before the coming of teacher. That's why it is in the past perfect form. Very good. Moving on to the next example. It dash for quite some time when father returned from office. It dashed for quite some time when father returned from office. Bracket drizzle. Any guess? Yes. You are all correct. It had been drizzling for quite some time when father returned from office. Drizzle. It will be drizzle. It had been drizzling for quite some time when father returned from office. Now moving on to the next one. I dash the Prime Minister next month. Meet, bracket meet. I dash the Prime Minister next month. Meet. Yes, I shall meet the Prime Minister next month. Very good. Then he dash when I meet him. Paint. He dashed when I meet him. M-E-E-T, meet him. Bracket paint. That means you have to use the form of paint here in the gap. He dashed for when I meet him. He, yes, he will be painting. Very good. He will be painting when I meet him. Next, they dash the work before it gets dark. They dash the work before it gets dark. Complete. They dash the work before it gets dark. Think. Yes, most of you are getting it right. They will have completed the work before it gets dark. Very good. Then next one. It dashed for 2 hours when we return. It dashed for 2 hours when we return. Rain. Bracket rain. It dashed for 2 hours when we return. Yes, very good, very good. It will have been raining for 2 hours when we return. The sentence is in future perfect continuous tense. So now we have understood the use of tenses, their formations, definitions, conditional sentences, their uses, formations. We have done a few examples, and if you go thoroughly through this, whatever we have discussed on tenses 2-3 times, I think it will be quite clear to all of you, and you will have a stronger grip on tenses than before, because you have been doing this for quite in a few classes, and so it will be easier for you to comprehend what has been discussed in these 2 sessions. So for today, let us wind up, and in the next session we will deal with some more examples of tenses. Thank you very much. Have a safe and nice time.